Hello, everybody, and welcome. It is time. It is the MTGPL Invitational. I am Dr. Leo here with my homie Corey, also known as Balance Statistic. How you doing, buddy? It's time.
I have never had such a great day in all my life, Doc. Today is Invitational. It is finally here. We have been brewing this up for the last few months. This is our second Invitational that we've got going this year. Holy crap! I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to see some amazing paper legacy action, Doc. How about yourself?
I'm very excited for this one. So it is our third invitational. We have two players waiting for their back-to-back chance of taking it down again. So Tensai and Charvel have both been invitational champions in the past, and now we have a whole suite of three new players into the invitational, in addition to some return faces. And I'm excited for this. I love competitive metagames. I love when there is a little brewing battle between everybody for their sideboard slots, putting everybody on what deck. We've talked about it on the podcast. We talked about it in the Discord, trying to put people on different decks. And honestly, I did not see half of these players putting on and playing these decks. So
no, I agree. This was one of the things that you are able to watch as people go through their leagues. They have the decks that they play at FNMs and the Saturday weekly challenges, and then invitational time comes and everybody's like on a completely different deck list. They're completely metagaming each other because they know what each other plays. They know the little tricks of the trade that they have, what they have hold up their sleeve. And it's amazing to watch this develop over as invitational gets closer and closer and closer and the points start to stack up. And that's exactly it. And let's not forget how important the run to the invitational is. All these guys, the hard work that all these players put in over the last few months, building up points, being here every Saturday for the bi-weekly Sunday events, for putting in the late hours, the time tuning their deck lists. People talk about webcam magic not being competitive. This is competitive. These guys are the fiercest of the fierce on this Discord, and they are ready to rock and roll today, I guarantee.
Yeah, and let's take a look straight down our top eight. Like, we got our number one seed, Tensai. Tensai is one of the top players on the Discord, not only known as the number one cephalid breakfast pilot, but honestly, just wide diversity worth of decks here. I mean, we're talking about massive amounts of wins. Our first player to hit 4 consecutive wins. We also have league finals, previous invitational championship. Tensai is all eyes are on Tensai. But then coming down to the bracket here, we also have one of our new incomers, new challengers, Quirios coming in.
Yes.
Quirios that went on an insane run with Esper Ninjas, honestly developed the deck and like put it on the map. And like, honestly, Quirios is the real grinder here. It's every single week in every single tournament, every single league, grinding it all the way up.
Well, that's an interesting thing with that. That brings up a very valid point. Quirios is so hefty on that, and Evil is the one who's actually playing it today, and Clara Storks is the one who actually runs the Ninjas Discord. So I mean, that's how this goes. You've got these players they have their deck, they have what they do, and then when it comes time for them to be competitive in a sense and actually metagame against each other, they're on completely different animals. Cliffclaff is another one of those. 100% lives in the graveyard. Oops all spells, dredge, and comes out of the gate today with Rug Delver. It's like, wow, like out of left field. So yeah, super awesome for that.
Yeah, so when we talk about win percentage here, these win percentages are insane. So Tensai, 73.4% win percentage, total points 58 points over the season. And that is majority of the games that Tensai goes in, Tensai is winning.
Yes.
Like, think about how wild this is not MTGO what we're talking about, where you can like win games off of clocks and stuff like that. This is just raw paper grinding magic, and it's so cool to see. Quirios, again, 74.3% win percentage, over 55 total points. This is insane. Like, these players are just the top percent of the Discord. Evil coming in third place, 66% win percentage. Evil is actually on Ninjas. Like, when we talked about this in the podcast, we're like, Ninjas is going to be the deck. And we were expecting at least 2 to 3 players on it. And Evil actually came out with the surprise win, or with the surprise deck of Esper Ninjas. And I don't hate it.
Right. I totally agree. And real quick to expound on that, did I hear you say podcast doc? What was that?
Yeah. Yeah. So the MTGPL, we have a podcast, the Legacy Table. We film bi-weekly, and we just talk about like, the meta here. We talk about Paper Legacy in general. We talk about like favorite decks, and like honestly, it's a lot of fun. Check us out on Spotify.
Yeah,
So
definitely. It is
uh,
a fantastic podcast, and it's absolutely a labor of love that's put on by some of the moderator staff of the MTGPL. It just goes to show what we try to do in giving the legacy community as a whole something, a place of their own, a podcast of their own. There's a lot of legacy podcasts and a lot of legacy content creators out there, and they're all amazing and fantastic. But this is our little corner, and this is what we give to the legacy community. Is the 2,400 players on the Discord, a place to play Magic safe in your home over webcam, whenever you want, 24 hours a day, and a podcast to go along with it. And if, a lot of people, I think it's really exciting to hear other people talk about their achievements and what they do, even if it's on a Discord.
yeah.
That's the pride that goes along with all these players. I can't stress that enough. These guys have put in the time and the hours, and it blows my mind. I mean, these are some of the finest Magic players that I have ever seen, and I've been playing
Yeah.
Magic a long time. So
So let's run down the last bit of our top eight here. We got Champagne. So actually, Champagne's in our third seed now because of the
yep,
April league win. Then we go to Evil, and so Champagne though 63.89% win percentage, and also being the complete wild card in this. We had no idea what Champagne was going to be on, and bringing
yeah,
green white depths, basically a green white reclaimer build
yep,
with just a depths package.
yep,
So it's really, really good, and I think it's really solid. And it's honestly might be a corner case here that we could see pay off. But Frosty is the real metagamer here.
yes,
Frosty coming in with a 61% win average and bringing burn.
yes,
Did
because
not even say
everybody
it.
says one day you're going to show up at his tournament and Burns going to take it down, and everybody's going to like, we forgot about Dre.
Yeah,
That's
because
exactly it.
it's one of those things that burn is everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Everybody has a
Correct.
plan until they get their hand ripped apart or they get bolted or goblin guy in the face, and you realize that you don't have a game plan for burn. And
Right.
yeah, there are some decks that can get incidental advantage of it with Uro and stuff like that, but we're only seeing one Uro base deck here. That's it.
Right.
So I think Frosty taking on this meta in a completely different Z axis was a brilliant play.
I
And
agree.
honestly, that's gonna be our first match here. We got Evil
Yes.
on Esper Ninjas and Frosty on Burn, and
And I'm
I don't know.
excited to see it. I can't wait to see this. This could be a really tough matchup for Evil.
Yeah,
This could go either way. It's really going to come down to where Evil's permission is really going to fall, and how Frosty is aggressive in taking down creatures. I think that's
yeah.
ultimately where this is going to fall.
So to round out the last bit of our top eight here, we got Cliff Boyardee, 58.11% win percentage on mostly a as you said, graveyard based player, but bringing Rug Delver here, and like I honestly like that play. It's just going to come down to can and Cliff flip their Delvers.
Yeah.
Can that happen?
Yeah.
Because if not, it's just gonna get run over so much. This metagame is so aggressive. Then we got Charble. This is our first invitational champion with Lurin, but now we see Charble coming back. This third invitational made a good run in the second one, got missed out on the top eight in the last two games. But Charble, a Lurin player through and through. Like,
Yeah.
let's be real here. If you're gonna
Yeah.
put Charble
Charble
on the
has
deck,
put in
it's
the
Lurin.
work.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
honestly, major innovator of the deck, major proponent for the deck. The four color learn is just so powerful in the hands of Charble. And honestly, I could just see a Charble taking it down just because of the fact that Charble's that good with learn.
Yeah,
And then
and he is. Let's not put that down. Alurin may not be what you see all over Moto, but if you do see it, the chances are it's probably by Charble, and he's probably kicking your butt because he
yeah,
knows his interactions. He's very, very deadly with that deck, hands down.
yeah. And last to round it out is Clara Storix, 57.75% win percentage. And Claro, honestly, taking us all by surprise. This is one of those players that we thought was going to be on Ninjas pretty hard because, developer, owner of the Ninjas Discord.
Right.
No, instead going for Esper Mentor build, which I don't hate. I love Esper
No,
Mentor right now.
I personally play Esper Mentor, and the new, very, very close to Callum's new list. It's run one Jace Vryn's Prodigy instead of the two, which Callum has just posted. Vanishing Verse looks like it's a very good tool, depending on what you're up against. It doesn't hit to Fairy, which is a little bit of a feel bad, like
Mhm.
Vindicate can. But on, I have played Esper Mentor quite a few times, and it is a very, very powerful deck.
Yeah. All right, let's bring it into our first
Yeah,
round here.
let's rock
The
and roll.
players have voted, and we're bringing in for Evil versus Frosty for our first round.
Yeah, and if you guys would like, you can also vote to see which match you would like to see going forward. There'll be a straw poll in chat, so that way you guys can actually see that. So on our left is going to be Evil, and on our right is going to be Frosty and Burn. Doc, what do you think is going to be what's going to be the biggest opening outcome here? What does Evil want to see in his opening 7?
So, because of the fact that Evil is on on the play, because this is a seeded tournament, and
Yep.
that's going to matter, we're going to want to see Retrofitter Foundry and Ornithopter turn 1. That's the best possible play. Start making 4/4s as soon as possible and just beat down.
I like the fact that all all of those 4/4s are very outside of Frosty's range. And I think that is 100% going to be where this the pivoting point is. How many of those constructs can Evil make that Frosty cannot actually burn out?
Yeah,
Because you can hit a Eureka, you can hit a Changeling Outcast, you can hit an Ornithopter, but you cannot. It takes 2 spells, almost with every spell in Frosty's repertoire, to take one of those constructs down.
yeah, exactly. And importantly, when we talk about the Ninjas deck, when you go into the Esper version loses the most powerful part of the deck, and it's this perfect mana base where you don't have to worry about wasteland, you don't have to worry about things like price of progress and stuff like that. But
Right.
because of the fact that we do see the white splash here, we do get an extra scrubland, we get a tundra, and we're still on the 2 islands, 2 swamps, which does allow you to play for a lot of things. But if you want to be able to cast 3 fairy or swords of plowshares or anything like that, let's see, I don't see any swords in the main board actually. It's just 3 fairy in the main board, so it's
It
not
is, yeah.
really.
Just the 3 Fatal Push, the Drawn on the Locks, and 3 Fairy.
Yeah, okay. So
Yep.
in that case, you're not gonna have to worry about much in game one, but in game two, and this is exactly what we want to see from Frosty, is just
Yes.
aggressive Goblin Guide, get in for damage, and I think Evil's price into forcing this.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. He has to keep the pressure off as long as he can. That way, he can establish a board state and just kind of go over top and overpower Frosty at that point.
Ooh, there it is. There's the Retrofitter Foundry that we were talking about.
Yep.
Like
And that's
this
one of the
card.
good things with ninjas also. It does a very good job of playing cheap or running cheap, very low to the ground and lean. A lot of the spells are very easy to get off with very few mana, which is very nice for Evil because he can daze and tempo himself and still be able to play out with like a 1 drop like a Changeling Outcast or the Retrofitter Foundry.
Juka, like I would
The
agree.
Whitewater Mountains.
That's the reason why Burn likes to play the white border, get that little extra bit. Ooh, Eidolon here. Ooh,
And I
this
like him
card
with
is
the
so
white
good.
sleeves too.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Eidolon is another power threat here because, like you're saying, everything is low to the ground. Changeling Outcast
Exactly.
1, Ornithopter 0, Brainstorm Ponder, all that sorts of things. Eidolon is great here. It's not the slam dunk like a dunk that it is versus things like Storm, but it's a
Sure.
phenomenal tempo play here, and just being able to always just be able to hit it no matter what your opponent does, even if you remove it, it's still going to hit you for or two.
Yeah, every form of removal will actually trigger damage from Eidolon in this Esper's Ninja list. So no matter what form of removal he evil uses, it will cost him life to do so.
Oh yeah, definitely. And this can punish one of the most powerful parts of ninjas, which is the hey, I'm going to attack with an ornithopter or deploy my ninja and then redeploy that ornithopter so that way you can actually have the effective second ninja in the on the bench. But
Right.
you can't do that with an Eidolon on the field. You're just going to keep on taking massive amounts of damage. And we see here, Evil's already down to 16. So,
Yes.
Setai Nari, thank you for the follow.
Yes. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. An exclamation mark Discord in the chat. We'll get you guys a link to the Discord. If you guys would like to start your points run for the next invitational, today's the day to start. The league signups are there. You're going to want to get in, and there is a ton of action, a ton of players playing Legacy. The leagues are the easiest place to start. They're casual. You get put in a pod with 6 or 7 other players, and you play out your matches over the course of over a couple weeks. So
And honestly, it's a
definitely,
very friendly place to make friends on the Discord. A lot of
oh yeah,
people form groups and stuff like that because of the people they've met on the Discord.
yeah.
So, Fist of Cuffsmith.
Yep. Welcome. Thank you so much for the follow. I know you're already on the Discord because I've seen your name around.
Oh,
So
this
that,
stomp. That's some good stuff.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I have a question for you when it comes to this Bone Crusher Giant. Does it follow the same rules where the total CMC is the 5?
Y- Uh,
So,
yes. So the total CMC would be both together. Or
uh,
no, because it's just the stomp portion.
it's
So
just the stomp
yes.
portion.
So the
Yeah.
CMC would actually be the stomp cost of 2. It's not like a
Okay.
dual. It's not like a
The fuse cards and stuff like that.
yeah, or the Hour of Devastation cards. Yeah.
Yeah, and importantly here, we do see a force negation here, and that force negation was very painful.
Oh
Not
yeah, the
only
2 life plus the card.
yeah, not only was it exiling a ninja, which is important, but it also costs you the 2 life. Ugh, oof. But I mean, you can't let that resolve because otherwise, the Eidolon's getting in for more damage.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and right now is the opportunity that Evil has to actually get a ninja in and start getting some value. Um, although, I mean, the nice thing is the Eidolon isn't going to trigger off of ninjutsu because it's an
Mhm.
ability,
It's an ability,
but
yeah.
you really want to be able to replay that Baleful Strix or replay an Ornithopter, whatever you're ninjutsuing out, so that way you have that value. And Evil's just, it's going to cost him a lot to be able to do that. This Eidolon is going to wreck Evil's day, hands down.
Yeah. I think this Eidolon is going to take over the game.
Yes.
We already see here Burn has the life advantage, so Burn can fire more spells into it and not
Yeah.
care as much.
Correct.
And I think Frosty, ooh, second retrofitter
That's gonna
foundry,
be
which is
2
going to
life.
hurt, but this
Although
is how you can get. Oh,
he
go
can
ahead.
start making servos now. If
Exactly.
he with some mana, he could start making servos, and that's really what he needs is to build a player base without it costing him life.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where this power of this deck is. Two retrofitter foundries means that you're cranking out a 4/4 every other turn. And it
Yeah.
is just so powerful. You can do nothing else. You don't have to put anything else on the stack. And we're seeing here, Frosty's a little bit flayed out. 4 lands is a lot for a burn deck. I mean, you're talking about a deck that actively sacrifices its own lands to cast its spells, and 4 lands plus 5 cards in hand. I don't know like how many lands Frosty's drawn here, but it's a lot already.
Yeah, I agree. Although Frosty does still have a ton of cards in hand too. So, I mean, really, Frosty is just a few spells away because with 2 burn spells, that's pretty much going to put Evil in a position where he has to answer this Eidolon, or he's not going to be able to do anything else.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to fetch. He's going to be in like uh, Fire Blast range, which is just going to totally destroy him. So he really needs to do something epic here.
Yeah, and can even like honestly, I think in this game you're just gonna forego 3 fairy. You're not gonna try and cast it. You don't want to try and fix your color for it. Like that marsh flats is just a swamp because the minute you have an extra land on there that you can go that an extra dual land that you can convert the price of progress positively, it's just gonna it's gonna give you lethal. It's gonna give Frosty lethal.
Yeah, yep, I agree.
There's 3 price of progress in this deck.
Yeah, and that it's gonna hurt a lot. This is the greediest version of ninjas that there is.
Yeah. And that's saying something for a legacy deck that it's the most greedy version of it and it still runs 4 basics.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean that's the power of ninjas. You only need a blue and a black mana source to like actually function. It's very similar in that sense to what was that? No, I was thinking Death Shadow, but Death Shadow you never want. Basics.
Right. And like
Just
Jukwall said, price of progress is going to be the card to look out for in this entire day.
oh yeah, fully agree. 100%. And I think that was the brilliant play on Frosty for that. Okay, so we are seeing a chain lightning on the
Yep.
Baleful Strix.
And then to be
Which
able to attack in, that's going to put evil to 10. Um, uh, yeah, this is the and like you said earlier, if Frosty is drawing a lot of lands, that may very well be good because Frosty's going to be able to hard cast Fire Blast pretty soon here.
yeah. Fire Blast is 6.
6. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, 2 more turns, yeah. But I'm just so curious because we also have three exquisite firecraft in this list, which
Yep.
I love. I think that card is very good, especially when you're facing against a lot of blue decks. You can basically kill somebody with just their Force of Wills rotting in their hand.
Right. So evil just fetched, goes down to 9, gets another basic, just probably looking out for exactly that price of progress. We know that Frosty's not on Wasteland.
Mhm.
What is evil trying to get right now, Doc?
Evil is 100% trying to just survive by producing a 4/4. Like, if I am evil here, I am going to slam and try and get a 4/4 because on this next turn, evil can pay the 2 mana to turn a servo into a Thopter, and then tap the other Retrofitter Foundry to turn it in from a Thopter into a 4/4.
Yep.
So
Which
having
costs 0 mana to make the Thopter into a 4/4.
0 mana, which is probably the most busted part about the card.
Right.
But I think right here, Evil is going to look to hold up any sort of force effect in the deck. There are 4 Force of Wills, and I think they already used the 1 Force of Negation. Looks like 2 Force of Negation. So there's going to be a second one possible. But, ooh, getting in. I like this. No fear.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And by all means, you want to get as much damage as you can through. Frosty is sitting at a very very comfortable 15 life, or was 16 life.
Yeah.
So Evil really needs to do what he can to put the pressure on, or keep the pressure on, I should say. If Frosty gets too far ahead, like you said, Eidolon literally will just sit there, and Frosty is able to use. There's price.
So I like this play because I've seen P Sully do something similar. Do
Right,
you fetch, or are you forced into the fetch, or are you just gonna take the 2 damage?
right, exactly.
Uh,
You absolutely fetch for the 1
yeah, you fetch for the 1, but what does this say? It's saying that I have 6 points of damage
in
in
my
my
hand.
hand, and I can do 2
Yes,
on the board.
correct.
I like that. Uh, okay, let's see. So importantly here, this servo is going to turn to a 4/4 on the attack, though.
No, the servo has to become a Thopter first.
Yeah, it's this can all happen on this turn. Just turn into a Thopter and turn.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So he can crack back for 4, but Frosty can also respond
Mhm. So
because if Frosty responds, she okay. So Frosty just passed back. It looks like
yeah,
okay.
okay, and we are seeing this. This is going to turn to a 4/4. Yep,
Yep.
yep. And this is it's so good. Once you get 2 foundries on the board, you
No,
don't have to do anything else.
no, but she could before it goes to Evil's turn if she
Mhm.
wanted to. She could destroy the construct
Yeah, and
with
for those that think that Plague Engineer is effective against this deck, you need to put Plague Engineer on servo.
right.
Yeah. So taking the 4 here, going down to 9, Frosty, I think is 1 point of burn short.
Yeah. Well, if she gets another land and she's got a fire blast in her hand or 2 fire blasts,
Oh
she can
my,
hard cast 1 here,
that's
and
6
then
lands.
yeah,
Oh, I think
there's exquisite firecraft.
yep, this is definitely Exquisite Firecraft. That's
Yep.
4. Nothing you can do about it. It's
No,
uncounterable.
correct.
So we got exquisite firecraft. Oh, what's evil doing here? I don't know if evil has a play here. It can't be countered. Yeah, you just gotta accept it and just hope that Frosty doesn't have another one.
Right. Well,
Oh,
if Frosty can get in an attack, that'll put him that'll put evil down to 2. Depending on what she
can
has in hand, if he's got counter magic in hand, which more than likely he probably does.
hmm. Yeah, so I think when it comes to Evil's turn here, Evil can produce a Thopter but can't produce a 4/4, if
No,
I'm
he can
correct.
make this because the servo would takes 2 mana,
Yeah, 2 mana, 1 to
but he's only got 2
sacrifice.
retrofitters, right?
Yeah. So importantly here,
So he's gonna make
uh
2 servos.
ooh. Ooh, I like this. I like this
Yeah.
play.
Well,
Go
this
as
is 6
wide as
points of
possible.
damage. Yeah, this would be 6 points of damage if Frosty does not block.
Yeah, importantly here though, it's
He
entirely
can
possible that
respond
Frosty uh,
and he can respond to Frosty blocking and just turn it into a Thopter also.
ooh, upkeep, fire blast. This is lethal.
Yep.
Oh,
He's gonna
force
daze.
into oh,
Oh, brainstorm.
brainstorm.
Oh,
Ooh,
yikes.
ooh.
So he did not have the action in his hand. So
So
he is digging right. It's
evil
gonna
has
kill
to
him.
find evil has to
He
find exactly force of will here to go down to 1 life.
correct. Has to be force. There's no other answer.
Oh. Oh, this is brutal.
Yep, that's
Yep,
it.
yep, that's it.
So Evil does not
Woo!
find it. Wow, Frosty squeaking it out there in Evil's upkeep with a well-timed fire blast. Frosty had it in hand the whole time. That was an amazing play, amazing heads-up play, and Evil really playing out. I have permission in my hand and end up not having it and having to try and find it with a brainstorm. That's what it's all about. That is what
Oh,
it's
that was
all
brutal.
about.
Oh, that was so brutal.
Yes.
That was well timed in every sense of the word. The fact that waited to the upkeep, forced the action, didn't force it when you're in combat or anything like that. That was yeah. Frosty was
Yes.
channeling her in her piece Sully there.
Yeah,
That was
I totally
brilliant.
agree.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and
Like
without that price of progress, but that it would not have been lethal. The
exactly
one
that
with the
price of
without the
progress.
1 life or the 2, that yeah, that was amazing.
Oh, it came down to that price and like we were saying, this means that Frosty has, it doesn't have she doesn't have 9 points of burn, she has 8 points or 6 points plus an attack. That
Yes.
was woo! I got chills. That was good
Yeah.
stuff.
So, you guys, Cardboard Live is activated. Follow along with us on the sideboard. Let's start with Evil, since Evil is going to be on the play here. Evil sideboard consists of this stock: 1 Pithing Needle, 1 Soul Guide Lantern, 1 Torpor Orb, 2 Plague Engineers, 2 Swords to Plowshares, 3 Surgical Extractions, 1 Fracture, 1 Kaya or Soft Usurper, and 3 Thoughtseize. What do you think are the first few cards that Evil's reaching for in his sideboard right now?
So, I'm liking the 2 Swords of Plowshares. They are modal. They can Swords of Plowshares, your own creatures life as well pick off goblin guides and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
I like those. I also love the one of fracture because you're expecting your opponent to bring in some sort of like hateful enchantment, sulfuric vortex or something like that. It also
Yep,
does hit the Eidolon, which I don't hate in this matchup. Just having more effective removal is good stuff.
I agree.
Uh, I also absolutely love Kaya Orzhov Usurper in this. If you stick this card, it will win you the game and it will also gain you life. And in this matchup, I think that's such a good play. And honestly, Kaya is my number one side in this match.
Right, and thing to note also that Kaya does exile half of the creatures that Frosty
Mhm.
has. So
Uh,
can take a Goblin Guide, can take a Monastery Swiftspear, cannot take an Eidolon or a Bone Crusher, but it
yeah.
is another form of removal for those creatures as well.
Okay. Here's my opinion. Here's my opinion on this. Three fairy is not the best in this list. I think you're cutting at least one of the three fairies, maybe even two. Two. I think that it's just not really where you want to be. But forcing your opponent to play on like a sorcery speed is good. But like if they have it, they're going to kill you anyways. So
Right.
it's like I would much rather have a Kaya in this over a three fairy.
Sure. I can see that. And
Yeah.
then let's see. Why don't you read off Frosty's sideboard
Yeah,
here?
so Frosty's is really brilliant. It's very simple, and I like it. We got 3 Searing Blood here, all-star in this matchup. Uh, 4 Smash to Smithereens, 2 Ensnaring Bridge, 2 Surgical Extraction, 2 Leyline of the Void, and 2 Fairy Macabre, and I think this was to hedge against the Oops All Spells chances with, like, Cliff and Dredge and stuff like that.
Yep.
So, what do you like here?
Like you said, Searing Blood, absolutely. All of the creatures that evil will put onto the battlefield, almost all of them, can be killed by Searing Blood. And then Smash to Smithereens, I think, is a home run. Being able to take down the Retrofitter Foundries at will, especially in response to like the situation that we were at in game one, where he makes a servo into a Thopter or a Thopter into a construct, you can respond and destroy the other Retrofitter Foundry
Mhm.
to them activating their first foundry without that other creature on the battlefield. So yeah, absolutely. I think Smash to Smithereens would be a big play.
Yeah, I think that I really like bringing the Smash to Smithereens here. It's really solid. It's actually like a really good play in here because Ninjas is secretly an artifact based deck. It is 100% wins games just off the raw power of Retrofitter Foundry, and I don't
That
hate that.
that and it kills a construct.
Oh yeah, it kills a construct, and
Yeah,
that
it's
is
a one.
huge in this
It's a
matchup.
2 mana kill your construct. It's clean. It's at instant speed. I think it's fantastic. I agree.
I actually even almost like it over Lava Spike in this matchup just because of like how effective it is. But I think those price of progress are being cut immediately. I think you're cutting 3 price of progress for 3 smash to smithereens and being happy with that.
Yeah. Yep. I agree with that. Or a Changeling Outcast, a Smash to Smithereens can also hit.
Oh yeah, because it's technically an artifact creature as well.
It's in everything. Yeah.
It's in everything. Yeah. I'm honestly like either way. I love looking at these sideboards. I think every single one of them is appropriately metagamed, and I think that like seeing these like super streamlined packages is like honestly so impressive. Like it's so good.
Is a Retrofitter Foundry construct not an artifact? I thought it was.
No, it's not an
Oh, it
artifact.
is a super type. Yeah, my
Oh,
bad.
oh yeah, artifact is a super type. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
So that was my
Stand.
mistake.
It
But
is a thopter though. It is a
it is,
thopter
yes,
that
it is a Thopter.
yeah.
But yes. So I think I agree with you. I think the Lava Spike is probably the weakest, just
Mhm.
because there are a lot of creatures in this that you have to deal with. But I think the price of progress, I think I would probably take too.
Yeah, price of progress you can take out. I think exquisite firecraft, as we've seen, is this surprise just like 100% great hit. This card, the fact that it completely invalidates the force will package that's in ninjas and days and stuff like that. And you can deal 4 damage, which is relevant for tokens. It's relevant for Yuriko. It's relevant for Ingenious Infiltrator. Any target. I think it's actually just like the all-time best hit in this deck.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Also, just want to point this out. People talk about how Legacy is a format that people are priced out of and stuff like that. This is Burn.
Yeah,
Burn is an amazing deck in Legacy. If you think that like, oh, it's like a tier 2 deck because you've seen Burn in like Modern or something like that or Pioneer, no. This is real Burn where if you bring a Burn to any Legacy event, the response you'll get is, "Oh shit, I didn't have a plan for Burn."
yeah,
Because nobody
and
has a plan for Burn.
I honestly think our Ensnaring Bridge is the most expensive card in this deck.
Yeah, I think it
Uh,
is actually. Yeah,
yeah,
the two ensnaring bridges is probably the most expensive card.
yeah, and
Other
Burn
than
is absolutely Burn is a powerful deck. I mean, it will get you dead fast. It's cool if you want to sit and dirtle and do your big things, but if you're not ready for Burn, Burn will get you dead very fast.
oh yeah, I think that when we're talking about like when we were talking about the meta as a whole, when we're looking at like things like the invitational prep and stuff like that,
Hmm.
I think I even said it on the podcast that if somebody were to bring Burn, or let's say Burn or some other off the kill, I put a cliff on Dredge. I was like, I would love to see just Dredge come in here and just destroy for people who are like metagaming against each other and stuff like that, preparing for the ninjas, the Lurin matchup. And Dredge just comes here, goes lol lol, and kills you.
Yeah, yeah, I
But
agree.
Burn is just like that. It punishes the decks that are going to be greedy and not be prepared for it.
Yep, yep, I totally agree. And anybody can pull burn out of their any I should say any Magic player can pull burn out of their backpack and
Yeah,
ready to rock.
yeah,
So we are definitely back here. Evil's going to be on the play. Looks like Evil mulligan down to 6. Frosty did keep a solid 7, so
that's terrifying.
that is absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, if I see Burn keeping a 7 on the draw, I'm scared.
Yeah,
Uh,
yep, I agree.
but we do see here the best play that Evil can possibly make is land into Retrofitter Foundry. I mean, of course, that land isn't an island, so Daze is out, but like I still really like the just deploying the Retrofitter on turn 1.
Yeah. Yeah, this Goblin Guy, it's going to be a great start by Frosty. Just start getting the pressure, and there you you now know that one of the cards that's in Evil's hand. Granted, it is a little bit of card advantage him getting that card in hand, but at least it's known information now.
It's known information exactly. Importantly, it's one of those things you don't realize it when you're playing with fetch lands. 'Cause you're like, oh, I'm just going to fetch, take 1 damage. Who cares? I have 20 life. You
Yep.
will realize every single time you fetch against a burn player.
Yep.
Every single time.
Well, yeah, it
Um,
puts you closer and closer and closer to being dead.
oh yeah, and there's nothing worse than and when you play against burn and you're like, okay, I can probably like play around. I fetch 1 duel or something like that. They go price of progress for you, price of progress you, fire or bolt you, and you're just like, okay, fire blast you. I'm like, okay, that was terrible. I
Right.
did this to myself.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
So
so
Evil's coming back. What do you with how last game went, where do you think Evil's mind is right now?
Evil's mind is understanding the role. So when you talk about players that can like identify their role, Evil does that very well. Where he's going to realize, okay, I need to figure out where I'm going to be in this. Am I the aggressor? Am I the control deck of this? In this role, Evil understands that he's going to be the control player, and seeing this brilliant play of play a changeling outcast go, because
Right.
this changeling outcast is about to turn into a 4/4. This is
Yeah.
exactly what I wanted to see.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, and honestly, the fact that, uh, you stonewall a goblin guide on turn 2 is so important.
Yeah, Frosty would either have to deal with the changeling outcast, which she can't because he can
Mhm.
respond. Um, so it's either it's go big.
Yeah, I like this. Go wide, get around the 4/4. You're gonna lose your goblin guide because oh, wait, do you lose the goblin guide or do you lose the mentor? With 1 mana up? Or the
Yeah,
monastery
that's or the
Swift
Swift
Spear?
Spear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
that's a
one do you
very good
choose to
point.
block?
I honestly think I would block the Swift Spear.
Yeah, I think so too because of the fact that 2 guaranteed damage is better than exponential damage.
Right. And we know that he's going to be drawing a Thopter next turn, which means he's going to have another 4/4 to
That's
back
gonna
up.
be that's gonna be 2 4/4s on the board, and this is what we're talking about. This Retrofitter Foundry is gonna take over the game.
Yep.
Secretly, the Artifact deck. I think Smash and Smithereens, if it's not in already, it's gonna have to be in.
Yep. And does Frosty take this opportunity to get rid of the 4/4 now that it's taken 1 point of damage from the Swift Spear? That's such a
Sending
feel bad though.
Yeah, sending 3 points of
Okay.
burn. Oh, no,
There's a Rift
suspending.
Bolt. Is he going to respond?
I don't think he can respond to the spend, but this is definitely an end of turn brainstorm.
Yeah, yeah, definitely end of turn brainstorm. Yeah, there's nothing on the stack for him to actually respond to.
Yeah, exactly. But when it comes to Rift Bolt here, I don't hate that because it's gonna make Evil play. If Evil plays the Thopter Go, it's going to force that Rift Bolt is going to go straight towards that Thopter and force the 4/4 making exactly at that point. You don't get to make it
Right.
at your optimal time. Frosty is picking the time. And that's
Right.
where Burn plays this like tempo aggro game of just like, I will choose the time and everything like that for when you can use your spells because I'm just going to kill you otherwise.
Well, that's just it. And this is where Frosty has to be in control in that regard. Otherwise, the little things that Evil can do, all those micro decisions, end up
Mhm.
being way more powerful than what Frosty's micro decisions are, and that's ultimately what will win Evil the game here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, I like this. Get aggressive.
Oh yeah, definitely has to, because if it were a situation again where an Eidolon drops down and they're both jockeying for life total or life supremacy, I should say, you want to have be as close as possible to the other player or above them when
And
that
let's be real.
happens.
And let's be real here. There are some sequences where ninjas can literally kill you out of nowhere off of Yuriko flip.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, going face with the burn spell. Okay,
Okay.
I like this.
Yeah, I think this is Frosty just saying I'm not afraid of your 4/4s.
Yeah, and honestly, going up to the point where 12 life, that's 3 iterations of 4 damage, or 4 iterations of 3 damage. How many cards we had in hand? 4, 3 lands. It's not the worst place to be here if this exact spell is Exquisite Firecraft. Oh, but there's not spell mastery.
Right, exactly. There's only one instant or sorcery in the graveyard right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bullock Ben,
And
welcome, homie.
Cathor with that is an absolute brilliant assessment.
Mhm.
There seems to be no land in his hand. Otherwise, I would think you would brainstorm with Gobblegum Trigger on the stack, because then you would actually be able to brainstorm with a land, put a land on top, so you could put that back in your hand. So
Yeah.
you'd be drawing 3 cards off of that brainstorm almost,
Okay. Oh, we are seeing a stomp here.
or
Ooh.
2 cards.
Oh, okay, okay. So Evil chose to make the make the servo, and
Yeah,
in response, we see
S-
the
smash,
stomp,
stomp.
and
Yeah,
that's not bad. That's brilliant
no,
play.
yeah, I agree. I agree. But this also gives Frosty a creature that she can cast if it resolves that can actually block the construct and trade with one.
Yeah. And I don't like that. I don't mind that here. The fact that, it's a 4/3, it's 3 mana if I remember correctly, so you have to volt a fatal push for it unless the source of plowshares are in. Ooh. Oh, we didn't think about this when sideboarding. There's no basic planes in the deck. So
No.
if we bring in the source of plowshares, you have to fetch for a duel.
Yes. Yeah. That's the only way, was either the Tundra or the Scrub.
Ooh, I don't know. Like, does that make it so you don't? Oh, nope. We see the tundra here. I wonder if Frosty cut the price of progresses, knowing that it's a possibility that the source of plowshares are going to have to be coming in. So this is an
That's a
open
good
deck list.
that's a good point. That's a very valid point.
Yeah, Frosty taking the 4 straight to the face, not caring.
Well, there's got to be a reason for that, right? Granted, yes, you're just soaking up some damage, but Frosty's got to be. I would assume Frosty's got quite a bit sitting in her hand, or she's just sitting here slowly dying. I would think she would have. She's she's using her life as a resource to give her more time to be able to maybe draw some more outs. Because evil is in. I feel like evil right now is in the driver's seat,
Yeah,
which is
and
essentially where you don't want your opponent to be.
exactly. And importantly, if you hit exclamation point straw poll in the exclamation point feature match in the chat, you'll be linked to our straw poll for our next round to decide what we're who's gonna play in next round to be featured on stream. So
Yeah,
get your voice heard.
yeah. You guys are the ones who are going to be able to make that decision. So by all means, do so.
Okay,
Pick
and
exactly what you want to see for round 2.
so Chain Lightning is heading at evil. We're at 3 iterations of 3 damage here.
That puts evil to 9.
Okay, looks like Frosty is just passing here.
Yep. Well, if you think about it here, So he's going to turn that into a Thopter because he must. Oh no, he's going to make another servo. Okay, he's just going wide, and there's the Smash to Smithereens on the Retrofitter Foundry.
Oh, that's good. That's some good stuff.
Yeah.
This is really cool to see because we are seeing already here that okay, we got to brainstorm.
There's a brainstorm. Yeah. Ribosome, thank you so much for the follow. !Discord in the chat will get you a link. You can come play Legacy with us. You can start your points run for to be in the next Invitational.
And Ribosome, thank you so much for everything that you do in immunology. Like ribosomes are great. sorry, there's my bad joke. So, this Smash the Smithering target is huge because you know that you're not going to see any more 4/4s. So
Correct.
if I am evil here, this is where my Forcible is going.
Yes.
Also,
yep,
it saves you 3 damage.
Yeah, there's going to be the Force Will.
Yep. So that's 8. 3 cards in the graveyard for Spell Mastery. So what did Evil pitch? Was it another Ingenious Infiltrator?
Yes.
Okay. That almost feels a little bit bad because Ingenious back in game.
you know that he was trying to build up to that, so he could probably ninjutsu that in because you're wider right now than the Goblin Guides. So one of those servos is going to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're drawing more cards. Okay, so there's a second Retrofitter Founder. I feel like he's at the point now where this is just gonna he's able to make a much bigger board state faster than Frosty can.
Yeah, this is huge. The second Retrofitter Foundry just turns especially with 2 servos on the board, you're gonna have 2 4/4. Or it's like it's nothing.
Yes. So Frosty's she is absolutely priced into blocking here.
Yeah, I think 100%. Ooh, but what if that last card's a Yuriko?
It very well could be, and he just brainstormed also.
And we just had a brainstorm. This could actually, if you're at 12 life, Yuriko trigger, so it's 4, 5, 4, 5. Yeah, even a Forcible won't kill you. But going down to 2 feels
it would be
really
close.
bad.
But the nice thing is, even with this, just nothing, just passes back. I mean, granted, he doesn't have to. He's in a position where, I mean, he is definitely in control with that.
Frosty is definitely on the reactive side of things, and
correct.
I think we might just see this what's it called, Bone Crusher Giant just coming down hard cast here.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I don't hate a 4/3 body here. It positively trades with one of the constructs, but you're still trading a card for a token.
Right. And he can make a construct for next turn, so it's Frosty would lose her Bone Crusher Giant, and she would still take 4 also.
Yes. Which you can't just, because you'll go down to, because if we make 4, 8, 4, 8, 9, you could take down to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so tight. Eternally surprised. You are correct that the token used to be an actual card, but like it was a 0 mana 0/2. Can we really call it a card?
There's an Eidolon.
Okay, so there's a possibility here that that Frosty can get trapped underneath her own Eidolon.
Oh. So this prices him into what you have on the board, and that's it.
Exactly.
He can no longer cast spells.
Yeah, but to be fair, like, were you be casting any more with the 2 Retrofitters or Founders?
No, absolutely not. There's no need for it.
Yeah, exactly.
He wins on board. So those Eidolons are not going to save her.
Yeah, and honestly, I think these Eidolons are just priced into trading with a construct.
Correct.
And just hoping to find something here. Or No, because you can't even guarantee that you're going to get in for combat damage anymore. Once the retrofitter gets in for damage, unless you're able to wipe the board, you will not get a creature in for damage anymore.
Right. Yeah, I think you force through. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Frosty has to block.
Yeah. Definitely.
I mean, she's going to
Yeah.
double block one, trade with one of the constructs,
Yeah.
take the
And I
4. So
don't hate this
Frosty's
at
down to
all.
4. No, I totally agree. But I think she's so far behind at this point that
I
she would need she would need a Hail Mary to pull this one off.
I think
Evil's got 2 cards in hand, no Eidolons on the board. I mean,
yeah.
she would literally have to Exquisite Firecraft into Fire Blast.
Yeah, even then you have 2 4/4s coming at your face because we had the
No,
one
but
circle attack.
that
Yeah.
would actually win. That would win her the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Yep,
And
and she's gonna skip it up.
that's game 2. Oof, going to a game 3 already.
Yes.
Ooh, this is
So we
tight.
saw the Smash to Smithereens come in on Frosty's side.
All-star. All-star
We
banger.
did not see Searing Blood. We did not see anything else come in. Do you think? What do you think her sideboard choices are now?
See, this is also one of those matchups that, like, technically, outside of 3 fairy, I don't think there's a way. Yeah, outside of 3 fairy and fracture, there's not a way to bring it to fight off of bridge because
Right.
ninjas is essentially a deck that wins off of combat damage. That's just how the deck is.
Sure.
But I don't even think that we want to bring that in. I do want to see Searing Bloods. I do think Searing Blood is good enough to bring in because there's just enough threats.
Yeah. Yep, I would agree with that. It's a little bit of a feel bad that it doesn't kill a Yuriko. It doesn't kill an Ingenious Infiltrator.
Yeah,
It does not
exactly.
kill. It does not kill a construct.
Yeah, and it's one of
But I
the
do agree. It being able to hit a Baleful Strix or an Ornithopter or a Changeling Outcast is pretty darn good.
yeah, exactly. And once again, I think this game just gonna come down to the Foundries. That card is just so good.
Yeah.
So if you're liking this whole thing, the invitational, our commentary, us getting all dressed up for this event, you can be here for our next invitational. Like honestly, get involved with the Discord. Everything's free. All of our events are free. We have private support, and it's one of those things that this invitational it means a lot for these players. Every one of these players is just jamming games and like trying to get the points to run up to this invitational. And we saw Cliff do that at the very end there.
Right.
So it's one of those things that we love putting on this invitational for our players. This is a day for the players and get involved with this. It's a great time.
Yeah, I totally agree. And some updates too from the other tables. Looks like they just came in. Cliff and Champagne are 1-1. Tensai's up a game, and Quirios is up a game as well.
That's actually saying something. The fact that Cliff and Champagne are 1-1, and that's a tight matchup. I mean,
Yeah.
the Rug Delver versus the 4 Swords to Plowshares Merit Lage kill. Like, that's definitely a tough matchup to watch, and I don't know who to call it for that one. Tensai being on the play versus Elves versus where's our bracket here? Reading who Tensai's playing all of a sudden. Tensai's playing Clara Storix.
Yeah, and on
Elves
the Esper
versus
Mentor.
yeah, we can expect that in game 1. Like
Yeah,
that's a
and
really harsh game 1.
I agree. And don't forget, feature match in the chat will get you a link to a straw poll. You guys are in control on what match we will be showing you next. So make sure and put your votes in on what you would like to see right here on the MTGPL Twitch page that for you guys to watch. And a reminder, the other commands that we do have, !Discord will get you your very own personal link to our Discord. The MTGPL, we're 2,400 players strong. We are proxy friendly, open, inviting, inclusive legacy community for you to play with your your hard-earned, long time collected MTG legacy decks, playing paper, those beautiful foiled, signed Japanese, whatever kind of cards that you guys are into. We love seeing them. If you, if you are new to Legacy, there's tons of channels and resources to help you out, learn how to play, learn the matchups. We've also, like I said, proxy friendly. So there's no barrier to entry except for the price of sleeves and some printer ink.
Yeah.
We are all about being able to bring legacy content to you guys at as with no cost to you, so you can be part of the community and be the legacy superstar that you are.
Yeah, and honestly, legacy when people talk about legacy and Magic, it's always within a term of endearment. It's such a fun format to play. Like honestly, if you're a brewer, there's tons of brewing space here. There
Oh yeah,
is it's you can do pretty much whatever you want in legacy, depending on your play style.
yeah,
And honestly, it's just so much fun. Like our deck discussion channel, it's just constantly going. People are posting new deck lists all the time, asking for feedback, jamming games, testing in our server. That's where I do all my playing and all my testing. Is literally just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna hop into the LFG channel, and literally within 5 minutes, I have a game and I'm playing. And then like Frosty comes around, it's like, oh, I'll play you in Bird, and just kills me. So like,
right. Yeah, it's just it. Plus, one of the really cool things that we started a couple months ago is FNM. So it's super casual.
oh yeah,
People just get into a big chat room and we all just sit and shoot the crap, and people break off into tables and play Commander or EDH, Pioneer, Modern, Pre-Modern, Old School, Legacy. We've got some vintage players, everything and anything and everything. People playing on Moto that are screen sharing. People playing on Arena, playing Historic. I mean,
Popper is
it's
hot
really,
now.
yeah, Pauper is another thing that's good, that's going strong. There's something for everybody, and that was our goal, was to make a one-stop shop like an LGS for anything that you would want Magic related. And I think we've done a really good job. I've been part of the Discord for over a year, and actually it's like a year and 4 months, 5 months almost. That's it's just it's really inviting, and I urge all of you guys, if you're into Magic the Gathering period and have paper and a webcam and want to play, stop by, man. We've got something for everybody.
It's better than spending $350 on Arena just to play a deck.
Yeah, yeah. Inkener, also thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in.
Yeah. I so when we talk about like chat's talking about brew in space, like oh, it's so much
Oh,
fun.
we got a damaged sleeve.
Oh yeah. Okay, we're gonna get that changed out real quick. Heck, no
Yep.
worries. Popping sleeves happens all the time.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, when we talk about like brewing space in Legacy, there is so much brewing space. Like
Oh,
especially
absolutely.
when we remove the cost out of it with proxies and such like that, we really encourage players to try things out. Like it's not just a blue soup. Like you're like when you see an MTGO snapshot of like a challenge or like 5-0 lists and stuff like that, you're gonna see like Delver, you might see a control pile of some kind or something like that. But here, it's very open because people play with the decks that they know and love and that they've had for years. Like I know
Yeah.
Mud players on here who are still on Mud, like
All
OG,
foil mud.
all four.
OG old foil mud. Let's just
Oh,
be clear on that.
I'm still
I remember the
no,
first time I saw it, I was like, wow. That was
yeah.
like that was very early in our Discord life. That was, yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, I so we just have like this really good community of players that just like to jam games. Thank you, Dan, for the compliments. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
We
thanks,
want to
Dan.
look good
Welcome.
for all of you all. Like it's one of those
Yeah,
things. You all come out here, and everybody's supporting the community. Everybody's supporting Legacy. We want to show our support.
yeah. And by the way, both players did mold a 6. So Frosty is on the play. Does start out strong with a Goblin Guide, or with a Rift
Oh,
Bolt. I'm
there's
sorry,
a Rift Bolt.
Rift
Yeah,
Bolt. Yep.
yeah.
I was like,
So
why does she
this
have
is
a dice on her Goblin Guide? What's going on here?
honestly, this is the best start you want if you're evil. You don't have a turn one threat that's going to be repetitive damage. You
Yep.
don't have like especially like a monster Swift Spear. Like you don't want to see that because that means on turn two you can be taking anywhere between 2 to 4 points of damage just
Yeah.
from the Swift Spear.
Yes.
So it's one of those things that the Rift Bolt is like the safest and best play for evil. And ooh, fetching Underground Sea. Like Underground Sea Ponder, this is telling me that Evil doesn't have a second land.
That's very, very possible.
Yeah, like, oh my
But
gosh.
Ponder is one of the most powerful things that you can be doing in Legacy. You know,
I will completely agree.
Brainstorm Fetchland is up there, is up there as well. But Ponder is one of the greatest cards. The amount of cards that it allows you to see is fantastic.
Yeah. For those that are new to Legacy as a format, first of all, welcome. Second of all, the Cantrip Cartel, Brainstorm,
Yep,
Ponder, Preordain.
yep,
Those three cards make up what's essentially the blue soup of cantrips. You know, when you start building a deck, like if you're going to build it blue soup, you start with 4 Force of Will, 4 Brainstorms, 4 Ponder. Unless you're me, then you're just insane. But that's because of the fact that it's so effective. And right there, 4 Ponder, 4 Brainstorm, 4 Force Will, that's 12 cards towards your blue count. So Ponder not only like helps smooth out your draws, it also is able to be pitched to one of the most powerful counter spells in the game.
yeah, yeah. Force of Will is, who knew the 5 mana counterspell was going to be the best possible thing you could be doing in Legacy.
Ooh, Thop. Okay. So we have an underground sea and a thopter. Is this shouting? Yeah, I would send the
Yes,
Rift Bolt. Yes,
yep.
that's shouting ninja to me. It's a 4 of, but does grow Goif. I'm eternally surprised. Yeah, well, you're not wrong. And I honestly, I just put the 4th Ponder into my pet deck 2 weeks ago. I was on 3 Ponder before, and
Right.
I think it's like not the worst thing if you're under that 4 of each. This though is an Eidolon, and that shuts down cantrips real harsh.
Yes, very much so. Agree.
And evil here, no retrofitter foundry, no oh my gosh. Okay, update for one of our tables. Tensai takes down 2-0 versus Claristorix.
Yeah. So Esper Mentor just lost two elves, 2 games. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, it seems like a very hard matchup until you get the sideboards and you're trying to hit the 3 mana so you can hit Plague Engineer as fast as possible.
Well, that's just it. And elves is so fast at being able to combo.
Honestly, if Plague Engineer wasn't legal, I would think that Elves would be the deck in the format.
I would agree with you there.
Yeah.
I would agree with you. It's going to
Ooh,
be a goblin
okay.
guide.
Okay, so this is 4 points heading across the board no matter what. Oh! Oh! Oh, this
Frosty,
is brutal.
no fear, just taking hits from the Eidolon here.
Yeah, no fear. Does not care. Frosty takes a fat 4 damage there and is just
This
like,
is going to
I
be a
don't
burn spell.
care. I'm
No,
gonna
it's another
go
Swift Spear.
6
Look at her
damage.
put herself to the board. 6
Oh
damage.
my gosh.
And now let's tangle.
If last card in hand's a Fire Blast, I'm gonna lose my mind. And what's brilliant here is that no matter what, if evil has a removal spell, it's going to hit. Like it's still going to take 2. They're still going to take 2 damage.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
it, Frosty.
Goblin Guide trigger. Change to
Ooh,
Outcast.
Changeling Outcast. So that's 2,
It's
4,
going to fetch.
5, 6 damage.
This is going to be this could be huge.
Oh, evil, no fear, going
Getting the
straight to the right
Tundra.
progress. I think
Is he
evil.
looking does he have a swords?
Oh man, this is insane. Do we have a swords and a fatal push? That will do it, but you're taking 4 damage to do it.
Well, unless you kill the Eidolon first. Oh,
Okay, fracture. There we go.
okay. Eidolon
So
is an enchantment, so
yeah, that's what we're saying in the sideboard. Fracture has play here.
yeah. Yeah,
So
and
that
Claristorix is in the chat. Well played, Claristorix. A hard fought battle, even to get to this point. Losing to elves. Elves is not a buy by any means. That is a
oh
brutal
no,
deck to
dude.
face.
Honestly, well, Tensai even going on elves completely threw me for a loop. I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah,
So like, honestly, Claro, don't feel bad about this one. You got your chance, dude. You drop it into the lower bracket, but you're gonna come back.
yeah, definitely. So Evil really, really digging here.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a main phase brainstorm, just trying to find something here. Like you gotta be finding a removal spell, anything like that. Okay, so we got some more updates here. So Quirios on 4-color control takes it down versus Charble on Allure 2-0.
Okay.
Cliff versus Champagne is
Champagne, they're
still
still at 1-1.
1-1. That's the Rug Delver versus Green Steps. Tensai taking it
Yeah.
down on 2-0. Oh, this is gonna be good. Petty Supreme, thank you for the follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Outcast can't block. It has the text of
Yes.
can't be blocked and can't block. Essentially the shadow
Correct.
text.
Yep. All right. So that brainstorm, Evil has got exactly what he wants in his hand. Hopefully, it's enough to pull him out of here. Frosty is in a huge, huge position here, though. Each one
Yeah,
of those Swift Spears is worth a ton of life. One
yeah,
card in
and
hand.
especially if Frosty.
This you're going to see now what he brainstormed on top. So he did put a land on top. Good
Okay,
call there.
so this is going to be really important because in the case that Frosty drew any burn spell, you're going to want to be okay. We do see the drown in the lock.
For one of the Swift Spears.
Yeah,
So
definitely the smart play.
no response. So he is going to take 3. So that one card in Frosty's hand, clearly not interaction.
Yeah. I'm guessing something like a Smash to Smithereens or something like that, something that
That
requires
could
a
be.
target that's not on the board.
Yeah, that'd be actually a great card because Frosty's in a commanding position right now.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
If she can
This
deal
is
with a Retrofitter Founder being played to the battlefield, that puts her in such a good spot.
yeah, like honestly, if we're seeing a play here, the one play that I think could really take us back would be a Kaya. Like if Evil just slams Kaya here, down ticks, takes out either most like the Swift Spear, takes out the Swift Spear. Like I think that that's play here. I think that card is really solid. Or you can plus up, get rid
Do you
of
know
the
what's
one instant in the graveyard. Oh, go ahead.
if Frosty has Price of Progress in her hand, this is lethal
Ooh.
because he cannot go get a basic island with that.
Oh yes. Oh, Evil's only been on one island. Oh, two island.
Okay, so he did go get the second swamp. So
Rogrol, thank
price
you
of
for the
or
follow.
no, he
Oh
did get an
no.
underground sea. So price of progress is 6 points of damage with it right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rugerall, thank you so much for the follow. Exclamation mark Discord in the chat will get you your own personal link to the Discord. Come play Legacy with us. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We've got our Saturday weekly challenges, our bi-weekly Sunday Euro APAC events. Come hang out with us.
Oh, 4 mana here. What are we seeing? What 4 mana plays? Oh, hard casting, ingenious infiltrator.
Yes.
Oh,
Wow, that feels bad.
that feels so bad. That
But at
is
least he's got a
desperation.
blocker now.
And it's a 2/3. It is a
It
2/3.
is a
And
2/3.
that's
It
saying
can
something.
yes.
Oh
If
wow.
this is price of progress though, that's lethal if it resolves.
Yeah. Price of progress kills right here.
Well, no, he does have a swamp. So, but it would kill on with combat damage because
with,
he can
with
only block 1. Yep.
oof.
Oh, Searing Blood. Yeah, but Searing Blood doesn't kill the infiltrator.
It doesn't kill the infiltrator, but it makes
But
it
combat damage would.
Petty
PD
Supreme.
Supreme, thank you so much for the sub.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, Searing Blood would be huge too.
Like there are just so many live draws here that I don't know what's in Frosty's hand. The only thing that's not live is another land.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
if Frosty passes here, I'm saying it's got to be because even if you have, well, if you have Force of Negation doesn't feel the worst.
All forward.
Get it,
Yeah.
get it.
Flip them sideways. Force of Negation is not in hand or
That
is on the top of the deck. So,
you go now. I think you go now, or you go one
yep.
up.
Here. Searing Blood.
Ooh, Searing Blood
Trigger.
blocks Goblin Guide. Okay, so we do see the Searing Blood.
Yep. So that's 5. Is there a Fire Blast in hand?
So importantly here, Searing Blood says 2 damage to target creature. When that creature dies this turn, because of the fact
Yes.
that it's blocked, it's
So
going
he
to
did go to
three
4.
damage. So it's 4 here. Do we have a Fire Blast?
A Fire Blast would do it, or a Bolt. A
Yeah.
Bolt would do it. Frosty going fast. Fire
Oh,
Blast
do we have the Force of
doesn't
Will?
resolve.
Is the Force Negation on top?
Nope. That's
Oh!
it. Evil goes down. Wow. Frosty wins 2 games to 1. Look at this. The stress ball.
Ball. Honestly, my veins are popping out right now. Look at this.
Yeah.
Oh my
That
god.
was intense. That was such a well played match by Frosty and Evil both. Such heads up plays. The Searing Blood did come in. Smash to Smithereens did come in. Very, very, very well done, Frosty. Frosty's going to move on along with Quirios and with Tensai right now as into the top. And right now the life totals for Cliff and Champagne. Cliff has got at 6 life and Champagne's on 14 life right now.
Oof, oof, this is so that was so close. Honestly, good play on Evil. That was a phenomenally hard matchup to play.
Yeah.
I couldn't have called that at any point. And like we were saying, Frosty being on the play for game 3 is where you did not want to be.
Yeah,
Seeing that,
absolutely.
oh my gosh, that was intense. And both players played that very, very well. That was
Yeah,
as
I agree.
close as you're gonna get.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Okay, so
So it looks like the players are paused. So we are actually going to be able to jump over to uh, Cliff and Champagne's game, so that way we can see where they're at. It looks like right now they paused the players. Cliff is responding to an end step of Champagne's right now.
so importantly here, so that puts Frosty up. Frosty is against Tensai next round. Burn
Yes.
versus Elves. How do you feel?
Uh, Honestly, I think Frosty coming out of this match, I think is going to feel. I think Frosty is going to be able to take Tensai down.
You really
I
think?
real I really do. I really do.
I mean, it's all going to come down to Wirewood Symbiote. Wirewood Symbiote
Yes,
is,
yes.
is just the most effective card at blanking Burns removal. But if you don't have that exact draw, or if you don't have the green stones, you need to find it, or something like that. That could be huge. Allosaurus Shepherd does not matter in this.
It does not matter exactly. But Elves is very fast and very good at getting around Burn and taking out Burn. I will say that. But I feel like this Frosty being able to take ninjas out like that, I feel like that puts her in a mental position where she is ready for anything right now.
Yeah, honestly, and I can't falter. And also, 3 Searing Bloods in the board would be really good versus his elves. Like this is, I don't know who takes it. I really
Right?
don't know who takes it for that one. Like statistically, I have to give the numbers towards Tensai just because of the fact that elves is so good in those kinds of matchups.
Right. And it looks like where we're jumping in, Cliff is actually petty thefting a Knight of
Nice.
the Reliquary in Champagne's end step, and Champagne has 1 card in hand. Cliff also has 1 card in hand.
This is
He's gonna
full
fix the
garbage.
life. He's gonna fix the life totals here, and flip the players there, so they're right. But right now, Cliff has got 6 life, and Champagne's got 14 life.
Yeah, so this is full garbage time right now. This is Hey, hey, both players are top decking. Both players have just grinded their hearts out. It's 1-1 going into in game 3. I don't know who takes this down right here. I don't see it. I mean, Knight of the Reliquary is how big? Is going to be, but it's being
That's
bounced
just
to hand. So
it is being bounced to hand right now, but I'm not sure how big Knight of the Reliquary is right at the moment. So that petty theft is going to resolve. Cliff's going to untap. Cliff's got 3 lands on the battlefield right now, and has got an attacker. So, and one thing to note also, Brazen Borrower cannot block a Knight of the Reliquary. It can only block
yeah,
creatures with flying.
only block creatures with flying. Which let me take a look at Champagne's list.
Yeah,
Nothing,
that's what I was just
except for
trying to.
Merit It's Merit Lage.
Right,
So we're looking in sideboard games right here. Obviously, Choke is an all-star in this matchup. Uh,
right.
Plague Engineer seems really good. Let me go over Cliff's sideboard. I don't think most of this game, probably just the Pithing Needle, maybe the Sylvan Library.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I other than that, I don't see much here. But importantly here though, Champagne is untapping with a Sylvan Library. And at 14 life, that's saying something.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. Oh,
So
he does force the Knight of the Reliquary. So Cliff being able to petty theft that back to hand set
yeah.
him up to be able to counter that. And there's
Oh,
Ramanep Excavator. That is a very good card to have right now.
do we have a Wasteland in the graveyard that
That's with the position that we're at right now, I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know if he does. But he does have a Flagstone's Troke here, so at least he does have land he can play out from the graveyard.
This is a 2-turn clock though. We have a
Yeah.
2-turn clock with the flying attackers. There's like I
He
don't
does have a Wasteland also.
yeah, okay, so we do have a Wasteland. So this is in for 6.
Yeah, Cliff's camera looks pretty wonky.
Yeah, I think Cliff is just having some issues
He's
with
having some camera issues.
yeah.
So it is 5-5 right now. That Ramanap Excavator is going to be able to play. Yeah, he is going to be able to play a Wasteland and take him off the Volcanic Island, but he needs to find something way better than that. And he's not going to be able to Sylvan Library too heavy here either.
Yeah. You can definitely Sylvan Library and take 1 card, but I mean even then you don't want to be doing that against a deck.
No, God, no. Especially if you got 2 flying creatures that you have to be able to take.
Yeah. Oh, last card of hands Bolt. Oh, wow. So this means that even if Champagne doesn't make a makes a Merit Lage, still gonna die to the Brazen Borrower.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I think this might actually put Champagne in a position that he cannot come back from.
Yeah, and this Bolt is going straight up head.
Yeah,
Straight up.
oh, absolutely. Yep, absolutely.
So I think the tempo advantage from the Brazen Borrower bouncing that Nether Relic card combined with the effective clock.
Yep. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think Cliff was trying to decide if he was going to hit the Ramanep Excavator or not, but absolutely, I would definitely bolt face.
yeah, Bolt
He
Face,
has,
get in for lethal.
yeah, he's got an Abrupt Decay for one
Oh,
of them.
didn't have the second removal spell, and yeah, here.
No, yeah,
So
that totally does it. So what you guys just saw was Cliff being able to take out Champagne 2-1. So that means for this round, us going into round 2, Quirios is up on the top bracket. Cliff is going to be on the top bracket.
mhm.
Tensai is going to be on the top bracket, and Frosty is going to be on the top bracket. So the rest of the players are going to be falling to the bottom bracket. This is a double elimination tournament. So these guys are still going to have an opportunity to come back.
Yeah, and we can see a bracket reset later on the line. You know, follows the same concept of double elimination fighting tournaments. If the case that the lower bracket winner takes it down for that first match, we see a bracket reset because it's
Right.
double elimination, and so it's going to be crazy to see. And I can't wait to see who makes it through. And you know, if you want, you can hit exclamation point
Feature
feature
match.
match and
Yep.
you can vote on who's going to be our next round. Let's take a check in to see who's going to be our next round.
Yeah. And
Evil, thank you for the resub, homie.
yeah, thank you so much, Evil. Yeah, I think honestly, no matter who we end up watching, it's going to be a fantastic game of Legacy. Like we said when we first started, these guys have been building their points runs through all of from their league plays to their Saturday challenges, their Sunday biweekly events, building up their legacy or their invitational points to be here, plus getting through a top 16, fighting their way through that. It's pretty amazing. All of these guys are amazing legacy players, and I'm really excited to see all of these guys, and I hope you guys are too. They've put their heart and soul into being able to play at the top level that they know that they can, and us being able to bring that to you guys is just, it's amazing to me. So I
Yeah,
appreciate all of you guys watching and being a part of this. All of you guys on the Discord, the 2,400 players that we have on the Discord, every single one of you guys helps build this community into what the amazing place that it is.
yeah, and it looks like we might be going into this next matchup. So get your votes in for round
Yeah,
number
get your
2.
votes in, guys.
Oh,
Yeah,
otherwise, hey, it looks like we might be following Frosty here for the next round in the top bracket. Uh, Yeah.
Yeah, which would be fraud, which would be elves versus burn. So
Ooh, I like honestly, but if we're gonna talk about this matchup, there's an important card that I need to bring up in the matchup that is kind of sneakily put in there, and I know it was put in here because of our great mod Mike Diff, who's also on the podcast
the
with
streamer today and
and
streamer
our
today.
streamer today. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Also, I want to say this right now. Big shout out and thank you to our entire mod team who put this all together. You see, Beyond Sadistic and myself be in the commentary right now, but we also have Mike Diff on our stream tech. We got Prez, Cathor, and Chaotic Bear all working behind the scenes, getting everything
Yep.
prepared. Like, honestly, it's a full day team event. And honestly, thank you everybody for being here and working hard. It's real
Yeah,
great.
definitely. Yeah. And for instance, I will be not here for round 2 commentary. I'll be table spotting. So
Yeah,
we
I would
all
be
do our
here.
rotation. Yeah. We all rotate and make sure that all the spots are filled and everything gets taken care of so we can bring this to you guys. So
Awesome. So getting
and
back to
there's
the
an updated picture of the bracket right there for you guys too. So
getting back to the sideboard, Leyline of Vitality. This is a tech that Mike Diff has been working on, and I love it. And it's designed to beat Plague Engineer. And Leyline, it's got the Leyline text. It gives creatures you control +0/+1. So
yes.
it gets away from the Plague Engineer. You still win off of the Crater Hoof win, but
Yep.
also it gives you whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may gain 1 life.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're gonna take a short break here while we get set up for round number 2 and we get hit our
Yeah.
next streamer in here. Dude, it was great commentating with you, and
Absolutely. I
thanks for
agree.
hanging out with me.
Yeah, and thanks to all of you guys for being a part of this. It means a ton to all the staff of the MTGPL that you guys are able to be here and make this the greatest legacy community that there is in the internet on the internet, hands down. We are here and we are a force to be reckoned with, and it's all because of you guys. So thank you so much, and I appreciate all of you guys, all of the hard work again from the players, just all the time that you guys put in. It means a ton. So thank you guys.
And we'll be right back here with round number 2, so stay tuned.
Yep. See you.